It was a Saturday. As the evening deepened and the call to prayer sounded, a serene calm settled over the city. The golden hues of the setting sun bathed the mosques in a tranquil light, and the faithful gathered for their evening prayers, their voices rising in unison, creating a harmonious symphony that echoed through the streets. Few in the bustling heart of Islamabad could have predicted the events about to unfold. The markets were alive with activity, vendors calling out their wares, and the aroma of street food wafting through the air. It was a scene of normalcy, of everyday life, where the unexpected seemed a distant thought. At precisely 10:48 p.m. local time, the ground beneath their feet began to tremble. It started as a subtle vibration, almost imperceptible, but quickly grew in intensity. Streetlights began to sway, and the once steady ground felt as if it were alive, moving with a force that was both awe-inspiring and terrifying. The tremors, though brief, were sharp and unmistakable, sending a jolt of fear through the heart of the city. People poured out of buildings, their faces etched with panic and confusion. Cars shook on the streets, their alarms blaring in a cacophony of sound that added to the chaos. A wave of confused murmurs rippled through homes, shops, and mosques. Conversations were abruptly halted and eyes darted around in search of answers. The city, which moments ago was a picture of calm, was now a scene of uncertainty and fear. The gentle rocking of ceiling fans transformed into a violent swaying, catching the light and casting distorted shadows on the walls. The once familiar surroundings took on an eerie quality, as if the very fabric of reality had been altered. For a few terrifying seconds, the familiar rhythm of city life was replaced by the unsettling tremor of the earth. The ground beneath them, which they had always trusted to be solid and unyielding, was now a source of fear and instability. The 4.8 magnitude earthquake, originating from a depth of 17 kilometers, had chosen its epicenter a mere 8 to 15 kilometers southeast of Rawalpindi, Islamabad's twin city. The proximity of the epicenter meant that the tremors were felt with a terrifying intensity, shaking the very core of the urban landscape. The proximity of the epicenter guaranteed that the tremors would be felt with a terrifying intensity throughout the urban landscape. Buildings swayed, and the ground seemed to ripple like water. The city, which had always stood tall and proud, now seemed vulnerable and fragile, a stark reminder of the power of nature. The initial jolt was quickly followed by a series of smaller tremors, each one a stark reminder of the power that lay beneath the surface. The ground seemed to come alive, moving in ways that defied the usual stillness we take for granted. It was as if the earth itself was groaning, releasing pent-up energy accumulated over countless years. The sensation was both awe-inspiring and terrifying, a humbling reminder of nature's raw, unbridled force. In homes across the city, objects toppled from shelves, picture frames rattled against the walls, and chandeliers swayed precariously. The once serene and orderly spaces were transformed into chaotic scenes of disarray. Books, ornaments, and everyday items were scattered across the floor, creating a cacophony of noise that added to the growing panic. Families huddled together, seeking comfort and safety amidst the turmoil, their hearts racing as they braced for the next tremor. The gentle clinking of glass and the low rumble of furniture shifting across the floor added to the growing sense of unease. It was a symphony of unsettling sounds, each one a reminder of the instability that now gripped the city. The creaking of wooden beams and the occasional crash of a falling object punctuated the eerie silence that followed each tremor. People listened intently, their senses heightened, trying to gauge the severity of the situation from the sounds around them. The epicenter, located in the foothills of the Himalayas, highlighted the region's inherent geological instability. This majestic mountain range, known for its breathtaking beauty, also harbors a hidden danger beneath its surface. The immense geological forces at play here are a testament to the dynamic nature of our planet. The collision of tectonic plates in this region has shaped the landscape over millennia, creating towering peaks and deep valleys but also making it a hotspot for seismic activity. This area, where the Indian and Eurasian tectonic plates collide in a slow-motion dance of destruction, has long been a hotbed of seismic activity. The immense pressure and friction between these colossal slabs of the Earth's crust result in frequent earthquakes, each one a reminder of the ongoing geological processes that shape our world. Scientists have long studied this region, seeking to understand the complex interactions that lead to such powerful seismic events. The earthquake, a stark reminder of this ongoing tectonic struggle, sent shockwaves not just through the earth, but through the lives of millions. In the aftermath, communities came together to support one another, demonstrating resilience and solidarity in the face of adversity. Emergency services worked tirelessly to assess the damage and provide aid to those affected. The event served as a poignant reminder of the need for preparedness and the importance of understanding the natural forces that shape our world. As the dust settled, the stories of survival and heroism began to emerge, painting a picture of human strength and perseverance in the face of nature's fury. The tremors, however, were not confined to the Twin Cities. Across a wide swath of northern Pakistan, from the mountainous regions of Murree and Swat to the bustling cities of Peshawar and Abbottabad, the earth swayed and groaned. Reports poured in from as far afield as Malakand, Chakwal and Gujarkhan, painting a picture of a region shaken to its core. Even the tranquil valleys of Azad Jammu and Kashmir, a region known for its breathtaking beauty, were not spared. In towns and villages nestled among the towering peaks, people felt the earth move beneath their feet, a stark reminder that even in the most idyllic of settings, nature's fury could be felt. Panic, an instinctive reaction to the unknown, surged through the streets of Islamabad and Rawalpindi. The sudden jolt of the earth beneath their feet sent waves of fear rippling through the populace. It was a fear that transcended age, gender, and social status, uniting everyone in a shared moment of terror. The bustling cities, usually filled with the sounds of daily life, were now overtaken by the chaos of an emergency. People abandoned their routines, their work, and their leisure activities, driven by a primal urge to survive. The instinct to flee, to seek open ground away from the potential danger of collapsing buildings, took hold. People sprinted towards parks, open fields, and any available space that offered a semblance of safety. The streets, usually choked with traffic, became pathways to refuge. Parents clutched their children tightly, guiding them through the throngs of people with a single-minded focus on reaching safety. The collective movement towards open areas was a testament to the human instinct for self-preservation. Across the city, people poured out of their homes and apartments, seeking safety in the open spaces of parks and streets. Families huddled together, their faces etched with worry and determination. Strangers offered each other words of comfort and solidarity, forming a temporary community bound by shared fear. The parks, usually places of leisure and relaxation, were now filled with anxious crowds, each person scanning the horizon for signs of further danger. The sense of urgency was palpable, as everyone sought to protect themselves and their loved ones. The air filled with a cacophony of sound, the panicked cries of children, the urgent calls of neighbors checking on one another, and the constant rumble of the earth beneath their feet. The noise was overwhelming, a stark contrast to the usual hum of city life. Children clung to their parents, their cries piercing the air as they tried to make sense of the chaos around them. Neighbors, some of whom had never spoken before, now found themselves united in their efforts to ensure everyone's safety. The ground continued to tremble, a relentless reminder of the danger that had driven them from their homes. The digital world, too, was ablaze with activity, as social media platforms became lifelines for sharing information, anxieties, and prayers. Smartphones were clutched tightly in trembling hands as people sought updates and reassurances from friends and family. Messages of concern and support flooded in, creating a virtual network of solidarity. Social media became a crucial tool for disseminating information, with people sharing their locations, the status of loved ones, and any news of the quake's impact. In the midst of the chaos, the digital connections provided a semblance of order and a way to reach out for help and comfort. As the aftershocks subsided and the initial panic began to fade, a city held its breath, waiting anxiously for news of the extent of the earthquake's impact. The minutes, usually ticking by unnoticed, stretched into an agonizing eternity as residents, officials, and rescue workers braced themselves for the potential aftermath. Fortunately, as reports began to trickle in from across the affected regions, a sense of relief slowly began to replace the fear. Despite the widespread tremors and the initial panic, there were no immediate reports of casualties. Buildings, though shaken, had largely withstood the earthquake's force, a testament to improved construction practices and the relatively moderate magnitude of the tremor.